Hi guys, and welcome to our second take and make project for the month of February. We tonight are going to be making a mug rug. So I was a little concerned after my attempt at macrame and how epically terrible we discovered I am at not making. Who knew that it was so hard? But for me, it was a bit of a challenge. And yet when I went to make this, I didn't really struggle at all. So look at that. You can teach an old dog new tricks. So I took the template that Jenny had given us and all I did was cut out around it. And also in your kit, you should have a piece of cardboard like so. And now that I have my template, I'm gonna lay that down right on my cardboard and just trace it out. We just need a line to give us a little guidance when we start to weave our rug. And I'm terrible at tracing, evidently. So there we go. All right, fill in this line that didn't quite hit the cardboard. So now I have my template. You also got in your kit this little piece. Now you could cut it apart and tape it down, which I think would be really helpful. But you know, I don't ever do anything totally the easy way. So I am eyeballing it and holding it toward the edge and just drawing my guidelines like so. So I'll do that on both my ends here. And again, nothing has to be too precise. We just need a little guideline so that we have a jumping off point for starting that baseline that we're gonna weave through and around to get this mug rug done. And this is not a quick project. I know Jenny gives us nice little projects, varying degrees of difficulty, and varying degrees of time that we'll use. And this one is a bit more, not labor intensive, but time intensive. So it's not something you're gonna just knock out. It's something you could do this part first and then come back to and maybe just sit and relax watching TV. So see, I have all my little pieces on both ends. And now I'm going to just snip them. I feel like it's about a 1/4 inch or so. Again, didn't measure. Do I ever? But it feels like about a 1/4 inch. Maybe just over in some spots. And these are pretty tough shears. I don't know what you've got at home. But these are pretty tough and they will cut through this cardboard, no problem at all. These are a kitchen shear, so they're actually made for all kinds of stuff. So don't use your sewing shears. That's what I'll say about that. All right, so now we've gotten this all broken through so you can see these move. Now Jenny gave us lots of bundles. Let me get this thing out of my way. Jenny gave us lots of bundles of yarn, and we're gonna start with the cream colored yarn because we have the most of that, and that's gonna be the framework for our project here. So I'm gonna start off at what is I'll do it in reverse so you guys can see it. I'm gonna start off up here on this side, and I'm gonna have a piece of yarn that's about 3 inches or so, like so. I will bring it down to this end, pull it back around, and so on, all the way across. So you're just making your framework here. And I have a little knot, because you know, me and knots, you know how it is. So let me get this knot out of here. Here we go. And then you would just continue on all the way across your cardboard. When you're done, it will look like this. And what I've done is I've taken my end when I cut it and I just wove it through the back just to hold it. And I still have my little tail where I started. Then it's all about the cosmetics of it. I love this color. I know I've spoken about this color. I love all these tealy, turquoise, aqua colors. So you know I had to start with this one. And I'm gonna take my bobby pin, which I already have some yarn on, and I'm gonna use that as a needle. So I'm gonna just pop it right through, and I don't want a super long end on it. And now I'm going to weave through. I'm gonna go under on the first one, over, pull it through. The idea is to go every other one. So however you start, that's how you want to proceed. I started going under, so I go under one, over one, under one, over one, all the way across. And then I'm gonna line it up, because this is my first row, or I'm gonna call it my home row. I'm gonna line it up right where that line is for my template. Now I have to do the reverse. I started off going under, and now I'm going to go under this last one, and then I'll be going over. And when it starts to get too tight, just pull it through. I need more. You do want to make sure that you have plenty of yarn, because this is going to let you do your multiple rows. So this is a good time to make sure you've left yourself enough. And see how it's arching up like this? That's okay. We actually want it to do that. You don't want it too tight. You don't want to have too much tension, or it will make your rug kind of twist and bunch up. So I've pulled this through. But not tight. And now I'm gonna take my fork. I love all the high-tech machinery we're using here. I'm gonna pull it just a little bit, but not tight. Just snug, but not tight. And straighten out my row. I'll take my bobby pin needle. And again, I left off on top of my yarn, so now I have to tuck under. Try not to be tight, remember? I forget my own instructions. And under again. And again, take that fork. Use those tines to pull it down in line. And we're getting a nice little weave going, aren't we? Now, if you decide this is a good point that you want to switch up your color, you're going to leave a nice tail on the end. Grab your next color. You know I love gray. And we're gonna pick up right where we left off, and we're not gonna worry a bit about those tails. So I'm gonna come, I'm still gonna start on this side. No, I'll turn it. So this time I go under, I know I turned my cardboard. Don't let that mess you up. And so on. You're gonna keep going all the way. And this is the time consuming part. It's not hard by any means, but you do have to keep weaving back and forth, keep straightening, and remember not to be too tight. I suffer from way too tight or way too loose. So that actually was pretty good for me. Eventually you'll end up here. So you're gonna have all this going on. And then on mine, Jenny gave me instructions to cut here. Basically, you're just gonna flip your board over, cut right down the middle, and cut all your ends. It's slightly terrifying, I know. Pull these off. And then you have to do just a couple at a time. Because after all that weaving, they are in there tight. Oh, I'm gonna use my fork to get under there. Ta-da! Oh, that's way easy. Use your fork. Look how easy this pops right off. And now it's loose, so we'll probably go easier. Yay! Okay, you know Jenny likes me to tie stuff. So I'm gonna set it here. It's hard for you guys to see. This little piece, that's the tail. I'm gonna take and put my little bobby pin on here. And I'm going to weave this down into what will be the back side of my mug rug. And I'm just gonna weave it a few times, kind of in between, and pull it through. And then you can even snip that little end off. Gone. But for these ends, I'm going to take 2 of them and tie them in a knot. So I'm just gonna roll it around my finger, pull it through, and slide that knot down as close to my mug rug as I can. Whoo-hoo, you guys, look at me, tying knots and everything. So again, 2 strands, use my finger to wrap it around, tuck those in, and slide that down as low as I can. You'll come to the side here and wrap your little tails around to the back. Using your needle, you're going to come in here and weave in between a couple times. There's no set rule. I like to do 2 or 3, and I'm going to pull that through. You could then tie it off if you wanted. You know I hate knots, so I just clip mine. And when you've done all of that, you're going to end up with your very own, designed perfectly to please you, or for someone else if it's a gift, perfect little mug rug. Perfect for these cold days, keeps your mug off your table. You don't have to worry about the finish on your table or anything. So handy. This was a fun little project. I really enjoyed it. It's sort of just very soothing doing that weaving back and forth. I didn't feel stressed out. I've tried to knit and I've tried to crochet. and I was a little spastic doing it. Admittedly, it just didn't work for me, but this was a super cute idea. So Jenny, I love what you've done here. I'm sure that our public loves it, and I hope that we're all ready for March, because this one might be a challenge. This one on March 8th is a macaron memo holder. It's not the cookie, but it'll look like it. So we're gonna have a good time with that one, I'm sure. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Be sure to look at all of our old programs through either Facebook by clicking on the video tab, or you can go right to our YouTube channel. We've been doing take and makes all fall and winter and have a lot of super cool things for you to do during these long wintry days, and any old time you have a few free moments to yourself. I hope you guys had a great time tonight, and I wish for you an even better tomorrow. Thank you.